In this beginner-friendly watercolor tutorial, I'll share my step-by-step instructions for painting a simple Christmas tree. This is totally doable, so grab your paintbrushes and join me. Ready? Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Shayda Campbell and this is a place where we make art together and it's fun, not scary. In today's tutorial, I'm going to walk you through a cute little sort of wintry holiday painting. We're going to paint this tiny little Christmas tree. It's super approachable and simple, and that's the way I want to keep it. So let's just jump right in and get started. Our video today is sponsored by Function of Beauty. So a few things you might not know about my hair. I have wavy, normal, very dark hair, and I am super dedicated to being a blonde. So a Function of Beauty came into my life at the perfect time because I'm actually growing my hair out right now. I'd like to have a little bob. And so taking their personalized quiz and ordering something that was specially formulated for me just felt like a really great idea. Take the quiz on their website to find your own perfect formula. It's super quick and fun, and you'll receive a product that's specifically formulated for your hair needs. So with blonde and growing it out in mind, my goals were anti-frizz, strengthen, hydrate, deep condition, and of course, shine. And I got to choose the color blue and fragrance eucalyptus. I love a minty smell that kind of wakes you up in the morning. And I actually find that minty shampoos can be a little bit difficult to find, so I was super excited to have that custom made for me. Since I started using the shampoo and conditioner, I've been really happy. I only wash and condition my hair about once a week, so I want to make sure that I'm using a product that is really doing what I require. Function of Beauty products are dermatologist tested, and I know they're safe to use because every ingredient is extensively tested internally. There's no parabens or sulfates, and they're 100% vegan and cruelty-free. So go try Function of Beauty for yourself. Use my link and get 50% off your first custom formula. Here are my supplies today. I always tend to use a pad of paper as my painting surface, but you totally don't have to do that. I also have my Mungyo 48 pan watercolor set, but just use whatever paints that you have in your art box. 2 glasses of clean water, paper towel for blotting your brush. And then I have some really lovely handmade paper. This is from Montreal. Of course, it's Canadian, has a moose on it. And it's just got a wonderful, lovely texture, and it's got a good weight to it as well. The reason I like it is because it's small, and working small is always, I find, very approachable. So if you don't have this paper, just rip a little piece. You'll want some washi tape or something to keep your paper in place. And then grab a small paintbrush, something like a number 4 round, or this is a long round, maybe even a number 1 or a number 2. That's what I've got here, a number 2 and a 3. Just for these tiny little pine needles, you might want something tinier. Okay, I think that's everything. I'm going to tape my little piece of paper in place. Remember, all my supplies are linked in the video description if you want to shop them. And then we're going to mix up our paints. So I am using a bit of Van Dyke Brown. I just wet my brush, and with that wet brush, I bring the pigment over to the palette. I like to mix a little violet into my brown to darken it. For green, I have olive brown and deep phthalo green. Those look great on their own, but I also love the way they mix together and just play around with different ratios. All right, let's paint a Christmas tree together. Grab lots of brown in your brush, and then we are going to paint the trunk. I kind of add a bit of more pressure and less pressure to my brush to paint a very crooked line that's thin in some places and thick in others. Then we're going to add just the hints of branches, and they're all angled up, and that's going to help with the painting. So make sure to angle these little branches up, and they are thick near the trunk and they get thinner. Then we'll grab a little green and we're going to start in on all these pine needles. So I'm making the branches a little longer with the green, and you can see I paint little branches and then I add tons of tiny little messy needles to those branches. Everything is a little bit messy. Some of the pine needles, especially towards the end of the branch, are very thin and delicate, and you can see each singular needle. As I come towards the trunk, I kind of let them get all mussed up and bleed together a little bit, and that gives that nice watercolor look. Just use the very delicate tip of that long round brush, and it's going to be, I think, quite easy to paint these delicate little thin pine needles. And you can see I'm just going along and I keep painting branch by branch, and on some of the branches I add tiny little branches sticking off, and you're kind of just going to feel this out and see what looks good to you. Your tree does not have to look just like mine. Go with the flow on this one and just add branches and needles wherever it looks good to you. As I say often on the channel, I love painting natural elements or things from the natural world because they're hard to mess up. You can make them up as you go along, and they should look very organic and weird. You do not want to paint a perfectly symmetrical tree, okay? Once you're done filling in all the little branches, we're going to grab some more brown and paint kind of like a little messy base on the Christmas tree. I'm doing kind of a rectangle, but I've left a bit of negative space showing through just so it looks like rings or lines in the wood. With that done, I'm going to set aside the number 4 round brush that I used to paint the tree, and I'm going to grab the number 2 or 3, a smaller round brush. And with just a little bit of green in that brush, I'm going to lengthen some of these branches and just do some really light, delicate little pine needles. So you can add some length to the top of the tree, to the ends of some of the branches. This is optional, but it just gives you a little bit more of that delicate detail. Then we're all done. That, I think, was just really fun to paint. You know, mine took me about 20 minutes to complete, so it's not a fancy painting. Just have fun with this one. It's a great brush practice. We'll finish it off with a little bit of paint pen, or if you want to add ornaments, that's what I'm doing. You could also use gouache or acrylic paint or a gel pen, but these Sakura paint pens are awesome. You just shake them up, test it out on scrap paper first. Make sure your tree is totally dry, and then we'll add some dots, and it just looks like beautiful gold baubles on our tiny little tree. I think this really brings the painting to life, and it makes an otherwise simple painting really sparkle. Remember, if you'd like to shop any of my art supplies, they are all linked in the description and you can find them on Amazon. I added some extra sparkle to my painting, and then that's it. I'm all done. This was such a nice little project. As I said, great brushwork practice, and it would look so lovely on a Christmas card. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you soon with a new video.